Greetings from Washington, D.C. I want to congratulate the Thomas More Society on celebrating your 15th anniversary. And while the House is in session this week, there is no other place I'd rather be than enjoying this evening with all of you. Now, before I go any further, I should warn you that I have not cleared my speech with the IRS. So if I get audited, I might be calling on you for help. As you reflect on your first 15 years, the Thomas More Society has a lot to be proud of as a champion of pro-life and religious causes. The Thomas More Society was forged out of necessity in 1997 in order to defend the historic Now v. Scheidler case. And while it was necessity that brought you together, I am glad that faith did so, that you could be a forceful advocate in protecting the First Amendment. Never should it be a crime to pray, or should one be forcefully compelled to give the government the content of one's prayers. And never should it be criminal to stand up for the unborn. Nearly 45 days ago, the IRS shattered the trust of the American people with the bone-chilling revelation that the IRS officials were targeting conservative-leaning organizations. However, it was your work that sounded the alarm about targeting of pro-life and religious groups, a cause I was proud to champion during the first Ways and Means hearing into the unlawful activity by the IRS. Together, we were able to push this issue into the spotlight, which led to the second hearing with organizations that were targeted for extra scrutiny. This included Susan Martinick with the Coalition of Life of Iowa. There is no mistaking the behavior of the IRS. What has happened is discrimination. It is illegal, and those responsible must and will be held accountable. When the IRS targets anyone for discrimination because of their political beliefs, we have gone down a dangerous road. Because if the government can target one group for political discrimination, it can target any group. And the IRS has vast power, reach, and control over all of our personal lives. And the American people are right to worry when that power moves from merely expansive to truly abusive. And while we are still learning the extent of these abuses, we must remember that any persecution for political belief is a cancer to democracy. The weeks and months ahead will be critical ones. It's up to citizens like you to remain engaged in this public sphere. It takes real courage to stand up to your government when you feel you have been unjustly treated. Our citizenry must be fully free to robustly challenge their government, period. Because it is our political discourse, and yes, even disagreement, that serves as a check against excessive government power. And when the government uses its power to suppress disagreement, we begin down a road that always ends in oppression. While the last several weeks have rattled us all, I still believe in all that makes America great. As President Reagan said, the Constitution was never meant to prevent people from praying. Its declared purpose was to protect their freedom to pray. Sadly, there are a lot of bureaucrats in Washington that need to be reminded of this. Enjoy this well-deserved evening. I look forward to continuing to work with all of you to keep our government in check and protect our constitutional rights. Good night.